Hello, everybody. This is Todd D1 here. We're going to be today on our Star Wars classic collection topic today. Excuse me. This video today we're going to talk about quite a few things on it. We're going to talk some things on the first game and second game, and some things I've heard, and some ideas that'd be kind of interesting for them to do if they actually do this. I'm not guaranteeing they will or not, but it's just ideas and things if they decide to do something like this. So for the first Battlefront game, is obviously a classic. I think it'd be pretty kind of unique if they would add four planets for the first game, just for extra. I think it'd be kind of unique. Yes, I feel like, if they were ever to add additional stuff to the first and second game, I know they would. I know firsthand they would probably keep both these games uh, original as possible. So if anything, if they were to decide to add characters or planets, they would probably add planets from like the first, second, third movies to the four, five, and six. I'm not too sure about, like the Rogue One, but I feel like they could probably add some things from Rogue One, being that Rogue One is kind of like a prequel to Episode 4's A New Hope movie. So maybe they can probably do things there, but I don't know. But one of the things I was going to say here on the first game is I think it'd be kind of cool if they would add, two new hero class units for the Battlefront 1. I think it'd be kind of unique if they were to add, so for the Rebels, I think it'd be pretty cool if they would add the, he's on the second game, the rebel character that can go invisible, so basically like the spy character. I think that'd be pretty unique if they put him on the first game as a extra rebel soldier character. And then another rebel soldier I think they should put on there. And then some other rebel soldier or something they could put on there. It'd be pretty unique. Just something extra. And then for I would say for like the stormtroopers, or for the Empire side, I think it'd be really unique if they were to add like the Death Troopers or the Sand Shore Troopers from the Rogue One, both from the Rogue One movies. I think that'd be kind of cool to add them on the Empire side as extra troopers and classes to play around with. I think that'd be kind of unique. The other two classes I think the other ones they should add, I think, should be the droid, something for the droidicas, something for the droids. I wouldn't mind them adding some characters like the Super Commando battle droids from the Clone Wars, the one with the swords and stuff. But that'd be kind of unique to have them on the game. And then another droid idea would be to add the General Grievous guards from, even though they're on the second game, I think it'd be kind of unique to add them on the first game as well. That way it kind of blends in well with that. I think that'd be kind of unique to add them too. And then, of course, for the clone troopers, I think it'd be kind of cool if they were to add the Republic Commando clones from the Republic Commando game as a clone trooper unit. I think that'd be kind of unique. And then another clone unit I was thinking of was trying to think of one. I think it'd be pretty cool if they were to add a stormtrooper that has like a flamethrower like mechanism to him, like a flame trooper, stormtrooper or something. I think that'd be kind of unique. As a unit, so like a flame unit of a character. Because we have one that has a rocket launcher. I think it'd be kind of unique to have one with like a flame unit, or add a stormtrooper with a shocking gun mechanism. Because in the second game, the one stormtrooper on the stormtrooper class, he has a spray gun. Well, in the second game, he has a shocking gun. So it'd be kind of unique to either do a flame trooper or maybe like a trooper that has a shocking gun mechanism to him. Another thing But that's what I think they should do with adding classes to the first game. And then if they are to add extra maps to the first game, I thought of 5 maps that they should add to the first game. I think they should add the map from the Death Star in the first game. It's on the second game as you can play, but I think it'd be really unique to add that in there. Then add the Tantan 5 map from also the second game, which is also on the New Hope movie, but that'd be kind of unique to add. Then I was thinking the Dagobah system, even if that's in the second game, I think that'd be kind of unique to add since it would have been in. I feel like it would have been in the original first game as a map to play in. So I feel like that'd actually be kind of unique to play in. Sorry. Then for the fourth map, I think they should add. I like for them to add the Naboo hangar from the Phantom Menace movie where they're fighting Darth Maul and stuff like that. I think that'd be kind of unique to have that type of map inside the buildings and stuff, because they had that in the second Battlefront 2017 game, so it'd be kind of cool to have the Naboo hangar map in there and stuff. And then for a fifth map, I think it would be unique to have like I think it'd be kind of cool, even though we've never really seen it, and they kind of showed it in the Kenobi series. But I think it'd be kind of unique to have Alderaan as a map to play in, because when you first seen Alderaan on the Kenobi series, it's kind of like it's kind of a city like. So I think that'd be kind of unique to have a little battle location around there or something. But that's what I think those are the maps I think they should add for the first game or something. And then I do have some map ideas for the second game that they could add, and then some extra characters to add if they decide to. Not saying that they will do this or guaranteed to do this, but this is an idea of thinking if they decide to add characters to this older game, because I know a lot of people are kind of wondering if they would actually do that. I'm not too sure if they will, but if they were, I think if they were to add characters, like I said, they would try to probably keep this like original as possible. So if they are to add characters, they're probably going to add characters from like Star Wars movies from like 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. They might actually add some stuff from Clone Wars, because we got Kit Fisto and Asajj Ventress. So like, oh, and then we also have Ki-Adi-Mundi on there as well. So I think it'd be possible to add characters, probably like Shaak Ti or Plo Koon, for example. Maybe Ahsoka Tano. I would assume those would be interesting characters to add from the Clone Wars. Maybe Lamara Unduli would be another one that you could add. So like basically ones there from the Clone Wars I think would be really good additional ones. One additional one I'd like to see them add if they would be like Qui-Gon Jinn. Even though he was dead in the first movie, still I think he would be an interesting playable character for the original game anyways. Even though they've kind of made him as a mod, they've kind of added him as a mod system for it, which is kind of unique for him that he's in it. But that's what I think they should do. But anyway, here are my extra additional characters I think they should add for the second original game. Qui-Gon Jinn, Savage Oprah, Darth Maul's brother, I think would be an interesting character to add. Ahsoka Tano, Cad Bane, I think would be amazing. Shaak Ti, Plo Koon. I think the Inquisitors would be relevant to this game as well. So like the Seventh Sister, the Fifth Brother, Bosk, I think would be a nice addition to this game, even though it wasn't in the second original game. I think it'd be nice to add him in here. Even though we have a dark side Anakin Skywalker and a Darth Vader both on the same Empire side, I think it'd be kind of cool to add the Clone Wars Anakin and put him on the light side, so you have a light side Anakin Skywalker. I think that'd be kind of cool to add. Yes, there'd be basically three people that are Anakin on the game, but like it'd be kind of unique just to have at least one Anakin that's on the light side. I think it'd be cool to add, like Padme alongside with like um, Princess Leia. They both will be obviously shooter characters, but like I think it'd be cool to have Padme in the game as a shooter character in the game. Um, Luminara Unduli, I think would be an interesting character to add. The Grand Inquisitor, I think would be a nice character to add for the dark side and on the Empire. Um, Jane Urso from the Rogue One, I think would be a nice additional character. Um, I thought of this as a fun. I don't know if we'll ever add him, but I know he's a very popular character. I think it'd be really unique to add like Grand Admiral Thrawn to it. I think that'd be kind of a unique thing to do with him. Um, I did put. I know some people are kind of wondering if they'll actually put Disney characters on here, so like the Force Awakens like type ones. I feel like they're gonna try to keep this original as possible, but if they were to add Force Awaken characters, I think they would probably choose a select few, which I think Rey and Kylo Ren would be the candidates, and then maybe Captain Phasma and maybe Poe Dameron would probably be the characters they would add from those. I'm not too sure if they would add Finn, but like I feel like those four would be the candidates for if they were to add some characters for the Force Awakens movie. Um, Another additional characters I think they could add. I would mind them adding characters from like the Star Wars Rebels series. So like Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger, I think would be interesting to add. Um, Another thing I think would be unique to have on the heroes versus villains. So for your assault mode, I think it'd be cool to add, a stormtrooper and a rebel soldier on the heroes versus villains, so you have extra like options for heroes versus villains, like battles and stuff. Because I feel like that with heroes versus villains, I feel like when you have all these extra characters, the epic battles it gets, and I feel like that's what a lot of people like about the assault battle modes, which is what I like too. Because I like not only do I like the competition, but I love the fantasy. I love the dream of a Star Wars game where it's just playing whatever you want and making your own fantasy battles with these characters, which that's kind of the fun thing about these games. That's kind of what I like these games too. Um, I also put the Eighth Brother on here as an extra character, which is also from the Rebels. I'm not sure if they would, but like, and then here's something I went a little for. I think it would be really awesome if they were to add from the original one, if they could add characters like Starkiller, for example. They could I feel like if they were to add Starkiller, they could probably put Galen Merrick on the light side and have Starkiller be for the dark side. That even though they're both clone characters, at least you'd have both of them, one on either side. I feel like that'd be kind of unique, cool. Um, these other characters I decided to add are characters like IG-88. I feel like he'd be an interesting battle character to add as a villain character. I thought of this character to add, even though he's from the Clone Wars. I don't know if they would ever put him on here. I feel like General Krill would actually be on here, and if I feel like if you could put General Krill on here, more likely he would be probably on the Empire side, because he did kind of like betray the clones and kind of betray the Jedi Order a little bit. So I feel like General Krill would be on the dark side here, and he would be probably an OP character, like kind of like Grievous and Darth Maul, because they're both freaking vicious with the extra lightsabers and stuff. So I feel like General Krill would be another character to worry about. These are some extra characters I thought of, and I don't know if they would ever actually do this, but I feel like this would be kind of cool. So I put characters from like the Star Wars Knights of the Republic games. I'm not saying they would put them on here, but I think it'd be unique to add them because they are, or maybe they can do like a fan kind of a fan service of adding these types of characters. So I put Bastilla Shan. I feel like she'd be on the light side anyways with her two-part yellow lightsaber. Darth Revan, I think it'd be really awesome to have on the dark side. Okay. Darth Malak, I feel like would be an interesting character to have on the dark side. Joel Bindo from the Knights of the Republic game, I feel like would be a Jedi character on the light side and interesting to have. Atreus from the Knights of the Republic 2 game, I feel like she would be on the light side of the Force and as an extra Jedi character, and then Darth Nihilus for the dark side, Asatil Shan for the light side, Darth Malgus for the light side for the dark side. Then of course you have IG-88 and feel like Master Sinjarala would actually be a pretty interesting character for a Battlefront 2 game if they were to add him. For an extra Sith villain, I thought of Darth Talon. I think would be an interesting one to throw in here. I know she's only been in the Revenge of the Sith game, but I think it'd be pretty unique to add characters from other Star Wars games as Battlefront 2 games. So, like, I think it'd be cool to add characters like Sarah Keto from the Revenge of the Sith Star Wars video game. Even though she's a non-canon character, I feel like it would be really interesting to add her on the game as an extra Jedi character. And I feel like she'd be kind of fun to play around with on the side with characters like Shakti, Ayla Secure, Ahsoka Tano, Lumara Unduli. Then obviously you would have Rey if she ever is on there. And then, of course, you have, Sarah Keto. So you would have, 7 of these awesome, cool Jedi characters. So, the next characters I have here are General Krill, Mandalorian. I feel like Mandalorian would actually be a candidate for this game if they were actually to add him on here. But I feel like if they were to add him, it'd be interesting to see where they put Mando, because he doesn't really like the Empire. He's not really on side with the Rebels, but he does aim more towards the light. But I feel like they should have 2 Mandalorian versions of him. Have one for the Empire side to kind of go with Jango and Boba, I guess, and the other ones for the light side. But I don't know how they would do that, but I think it'd be really kind of interesting if they were to put Mando on there. We have Andor as well from the Andor series. Even though he was on the Rogue One movie, I feel like he'd be an interesting character for... If they were to add Rogue One characters, I feel like for Rogue One characters, they would most likely add stuff like Jane Erso and Andor for sure, and then add, like the Death Troopers or the Sand Shore Troopers from the Rogue One movies as, candidate characters or something. And then I also added here, if you're going to have Mandalorian, I also put Moff Gideon on here as an extra character. Galen Merrick. And then, of course, even though she was kind of a dark side to her, if she would have become the dark side, I put Dark Side Rey also on here as well, with her, her own customed double-bladed lightsaber that she kind of showed on one movie. So I feel like that would be an interesting one. Another character I added here, if they were to be on there, is the Royal Guards from The Empire Strikes Back, and the ones normally guard Sidious most of the time. I feel like they would actually be interesting characters for the game. And then last but not least is Old Ben Kenobi. I feel like would be interesting for this Star Wars game as extra characters, if they were to add extra characters to this game. And then for there are 7 map planets I came up with that I think they should add. And obviously they would keep these maps original, but some of the maps on the first game, there's some of them in the second game that are kind of missing. So I feel like if they were to add maps to the second game, I like for them to add Dune Sea and Jabba the Hutt's palace, even because they're both on the very first game for the Xbox version. I feel like both of those should be on there on the second game with Mos Eisley. Then Naboo Plains, and then the Naboo Hangar, even though Naboo on the second game is the Naboo Theed is what that one is. But it'd be nice to add, Naboo Plains and then and then the Naboo Hangar. And then for a fifth map, I feel like they should add. I feel like for a fifth map, they should add the Bespin landing docks, because there's only one Bespin map on the second game, and it's the Cloud City. So I feel like they should add the Bespin landing docks map from the first game to the second game. Then the Kashyyyk docks, which is the nighttime of it on the Kashyyyk, because the only Kashyyyk planet on the second game is the one with the beach. So I think they should add the second Kashyyyk map from the first game to the second game. And then for the seventh and final map, I think they should add. I feel like they should add Planet Alderaan on here as well for the second game, just like what I mentioned about for the first game, as my 7 planets. And then I feel like for a couple of second maps, if they were ever to add these extra 2 maps to the Battlefront games of the first 2, I feel like Planet Solist and Planet Scarif from the Rogue One would be interesting planets to add for the Rogue One for the Battlefront games. Even though Planet Solist is on the Star Wars Battlefront Rogue Squadron game for the PSP. It'd be really interesting if they were to add those types of planets to the game and stuff. So like Planet Scarif and then Solus, I think would be nice to add to the Battlefronts both 1 and 2 game as extra map planets or something. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys would like to see if they ever are to add characters, or what characters you think they should ever add to this original classic collection game. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and I'm not saying they're doing this or are. I'm just fan theorying if they were to do this. So comment section below and tell me what you think, and if you'd like to hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the button as always, and I'll see you next video, and goodbye.